Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Danny and today I'm going to be showing you how to build your workwear wardrobe. I've been working at an office job for about 8 months now at a mid-sized law firm, and I've been developing the skill of how to build several outfits from just a few pieces, and I wanted to share some tips with you all that I know might be graduating soon or entering the workforce or starting a new job, whatever it might be. I think these tips and items are really helpful to have in your little toolkit for your work wardrobe. So first tip, as you can see from the clothing rack, is start off with neutrals. They will always make you look put together, they're sleek, they're chic, and you can never go wrong with picking essentially almost any combination of neutrals with each other would likely look good. And they're also really easy to grab for in your wardrobe because you know that they will always look good, so that helps you be more confident when you're going to work, especially if you're starting new. The first item I want to cover is a really basic bottom layer that you can wear with pretty much anything on top. I really like these tops from H&M and Zara. They both have these styles. These are actually from Zara, but the black one that I'm wearing underneath this blazer is from H&M. It's a top, but the fabric really makes it feel and look very sleek and like a bodysuit. I like to grab these versus a button down. I don't know how formal your office job might be. Maybe you really always have to wear a button up and be, high neck. But my alternative to a button up being all the way up here is just a boat neck top like these. These are actually a bit of a straight neck in the front, so this is the front side, but what I do is I flip them towards the back, and you would never know that this is on backwards, and then you can see how it's scooped in the back. These are really great to have, and you can layer a cardigan, a blazer, a sweater on top. They're just a really good base layer to have. I would say 3 essential colors you should have are, of course, your black, white, and a nudish cream color. Next up, we have a really good neutral cardigan that you can throw on in the office, and it's office wear but not too fancy, like if you're not seeing any clients that day, or if you feel like being really cozy, this is a great way to get away with feeling like you're wearing pajamas or something really comfortable but actually looking really put together. I prefer a cream cardigan over any other tone. Neutrals are always great to have, so blacks, browns, whatever, but I think cream really makes you look even cleaner and more put together, and it goes with pretty much anything. This one is a really great one from H&M. I love that the buttons are brown and black, so they add a little bit of chicness to it, and that's a nice detail to have. It's very thick and the sleeves are not very thin, so it's not super tight on you. So on a day where you really want to be comfortable but still look put together, I highly recommend getting a cardigan like this. If you're looking for basics, I highly recommend Abercrombie or H&M because they're really good at those, and you can often find really great deals. Now, keeping in the cardigan category, there's also these styles which are very, very simple and essential. The great thing about these two is that they're very versatile. So this one that I showed you, if you notice, the buttons don't go all the way up, so you can't really get away with wearing this on its own. But these kinds are great because you can actually wear them buttoned up. So here we have it opened. You can also close it up all the way to the top. I sometimes like to leave the bottom button open because I think it's just a cute little touch, but you can see how you can pretty much wear this as a top. Imagine it with some trousers or a skirt, and it's a really good versatile piece to have. This one doesn't feel as cozy as the one with the wider sleeves, however, but it's still comfortable versus a very structured suit that might be very uncomfortable sometimes. Moving on to bottoms, I highly recommend getting a good pair of black slacks. These are from H&M. They're high-waisted. I really love a high-waisted slack versus a low-waisted one. It's just a lot more comfortable. Also, I'm 5'1", 5'2", so for my dimensions, it works very well. And I think when you pair it with a heel or a loafer, so a low shoe or a tall shoe, it still complements the shoe very well. Whereas low-rise pants, if you're wearing flats with them, it can definitely cut your leg off and make you look shorter than you are, and it's not necessarily the most flattering or put together thing. I'm actually gonna put these on right now to show you guys how they look, and so you can see how they look paired with a blazer or cardigan, what have you, so that you have ideas of how these pieces fit together. These are the slacks. I love how they look. They're very, very comfortable. The zipper is concealed, so you don't really see it. So are the buttons. It's the most sleek option, in my opinion, to go for. And I also like how they're not super tight, so they're flowy. They give more of a shape. I highly recommend the looser fitting pants for comfort, but also they're quite tapered. So it's not like you lose your entire shape. Rather, I think they can be really flattering and add shape because they're cinched at the waist, and then they go a little bit wider on the legs. If you're looking for another alternative, I also love these Zara ones. They're beige, or cream I should say, and they're a little bit more tapered at the bottom of the leg if that's more so your style. I love these as well, and they're still loose and comfortable, and again, they're high-waisted. The button is concealed, so that also adds to the sleekness. And you can already imagine this with this top being worn, and that's a really cute outfit. The office I work in is typically super cold, so I would never really wear this by itself. I would wear a cardigan or a blazer. Moving on to my absolute favorite part, blazers. Now with blazers, you can either do a really structured blazer, or you can do an oversized blazer. Personally, I definitely do oversized blazers. When I first started working at this job, I did more of the structured blazer. The more comfortable I got with my wardrobe and experimenting with my office outfits, the more I started wearing the oversized blazers, which I think can still be super professional, but also depending on your position, you can decide, you know, which blazer is the best option for that occasion, for that position, for that office. So a really great structured blazer, but still loose enough to the point where it's comfortable, is this style from H&M. I've had it for years, but I'm sure you can find something similar on their site. This is how it looks on. It's structured, it has a bit of a shoulder pad, but it's still loose enough where you can move around in it and not feel uncomfortable. This is actually pretty much what I wore on my first day. I think it's a great first day look because it's sleek. You don't have to worry about much. You don't have to worry about buttons maybe popping loose. I think this is a very simple, easy outfit, but yet still looks super put together and very chic in my opinion. And then this is another option from Zara. It's actually part of a set. It comes with these pants, but they're sold separately, and I know Zara right now has lots of sets like these with this style of the blazer. As you can see, this one's not as loose. It looks and feels more rigid, but it's still pretty comfortable. It doesn't cut off here where lots of other blazers do, or they used to in the past anyway. This one is still quite long, which I think is great when it comes to proportions. It also has a bit of a shoulder pad. I definitely do appreciate a shoulder pad. I think it adds a bit of structure. It was definitely a bit of an investment compared to the H&M ones. This one was about $70, but the quality is pretty great. And it's one of those pieces that if you want to invest in a piece, to have it for the very special occasions at work where you really need to make an impression and you want to be really formal, I think it's worth investing in. But as you go building your wardrobe, I highly recommend starting off with some like H&M pieces, which are amazing, but also really affordable. Then we get to the fun part, which is the oversized blazers. So here we have this one, which I still consider a neutral. I still consider this pale green a neutral because it does go with so many things, especially for the spring. So this one is from H&M. It's a size small. I like again how we have the button detailing as with the cardigan. I think it adds some extra chicness to it and brings the look together, especially if you're wearing other neutrals in your outfit like black or brown or nude. It's a little subtle way of bringing the outfit together. This one is definitely a bit more relaxed than the other shoes I showed you. It's longer, it's a bit wider. The sleeves are also a bit wider, but they're not super long to the point where they cover my fingers when I put my arms to the side. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're trying oversized blazers, because a lot of the times they'll look great here, but if you're petite like me, they might go over your fingers, and then that's where it starts to look not put together. But I think this one's a great cutoff point, and you could even fold them up if you wanted to, the sleeves, and do them like that. But I prefer them all the way down. I think it looks more sleek that way, but you know, there's different ways you can wear it. This can be worn just like this, or if you want to make it a bit more casual, if you're more on the casual side in the office, you can wear a t-shirt underneath, a high neck t-shirt, a white t-shirt, and it'll look really great. I actually wore something similar recently. I'll put the photo here so you can get inspo. I also post my work outfits quite often, both on my Instagram and on my TikTok, if you want to follow me there and get some inspiration. The great thing about oversized blazers and them being neutrals is that you can wear them out as well. You don't have to wear them just for work. So that's another thing to think about when building your wardrobe. Let's say you don't want to have 5 different wardrobes for each aspect of your life. It's nice to find versatile pieces that you can wear both in the office and out of the office, so that you get the most use out of them. If you're looking to add color to your wardrobe, I highly recommend getting colors that still count as neutrals, like this light green, because it's still in the comfort zone of a neutral, it's still in the looking put together zone of a neutral, but it just adds a little bit of color. And that's if you're experimenting. If you're really comfortable with color, which I'm still not when office wear, I gravitate most towards neutrals, then go all out, go ahead. But personally, that's what I would do. This is how I began to incorporate a little bit of color into my wardrobe for work, but still keeping it neutral. Then we have this really great blazer that I thrifted a few years ago at Goodwill. It's similar to the Zara one because it's nude. It's a nude tone, beige tone, but this one's definitely more oversized. So again, it depends on your style, on what you think is appropriate for which office you're working in, what you think you can wear or not wear. But this one's oversized. I was wearing it in the beginning of the video, but I wanted to show you how it looks with slacks. I almost see like the shoulder pads as a bit of an accessory. You don't want to wear, for instance, or at least I wouldn't wear shoulder pads on like huge earrings or a loud shoe at the same time. For me, I think I would look most put together, keeping the jewelry simple, the base layers simple. I wouldn't want to have more going on in my outfit with this. Then lastly, I have other blazers for work, but I'm showing you guys the essentials, pieces that you can wear over and over and over again. And any one of these, if you were to get one of them, I'm sure you can build multiple outfits from them. This one is a great gray blazer. It's also from H&M. It's oversized. It has this nice sleeve detail here, so if you're looking to add some detailing to your outfits or your blazers, this is a great way of doing it where it's subtle. After I started building my slacks and my tops and my blazers, I wanted to have a little bit of fun and add a skirt into the mix. I know lots of people prefer skirts over trousers. I prefer trousers, slacks over skirts, but I wanted to have some fun with my wardrobe and add skirts into them. But if you're like me and you still prefer your neutrals, I found some great options that I think work really well for the office. This is a great skirt from NAKD. It's a faux wrap skirt, really, because a wrap skirt, typically it wraps around, but it doesn't usually have this bottom layer. So this one's great because it's the illusion of a wrap skirt, but if the wind starts blowing, you don't have to be afraid of anything showing. That rhymed. It has a little clasp here, that you connect it over here, so you put it together. There's no tying of it, which I think makes it also very sleek and easier to combine with different pieces, whereas otherwise you might have to take into account the tying and a bow or a ribbon if it had, or a belt, whereas this one is just very, very simple. And this is how it is in the back. And wearing it on, it's not super tight. So again, if you're a bit self-conscious about wearing tight clothing at the office, as I usually am, but also I just feel more comfortable, I think this is a great option. NKD has several skirts like this, and it's also a great cut at the bottom, because I personally hate having to worry about a skirt riding up my thigh, and this doesn't do that at all because it cuts off kind of at your calf. This is how it looks on. As you can see, it's not very tight. Even if the wind were to blow, which it sometimes does when I'm gonna go pick up lunch, this is the most that it shows, really. So again, it's the illusion of a wrap skirt without being a wrap skirt, and it's just slightly more fun than a standard pencil skirt. This is what it would look like with a cardigan on, with this one that's a bit more tight fitting. And I would also add a belt. I love a great brown belt. I think a black belt is just a belt when you're wearing black, but a brown belt looks really chic and elevates the look just a tiny bit. But I really love this shade. It's kind of like the Ralph Lauren brown. And I would pair this with these little Ralph Lauren shoes. They were about $100. They're a great essential to have. But if you don't want to pay $100, Mark Fisher is also a great shoe designer. They're very comfortable, as well as Franco Sarto. I love them for shoe wear, as are Jessica Simpson's. This is how it would look with the shoes on. And there you have a whole look that you can rewear the pieces a million times in your wardrobe, both in and outside of the office. If I remove the belt and the cardigan, for example, and just leave it with the flip-flops that I've been wearing, this can easily be a vacation outfit in 2 seconds. If you're going for the chic, elevated look on your vacation, 100%. Then lastly, as far as clothing goes, I really love a pleated skirt lately. And a pleated skirt can look super duper fancy, but there are ways of making it work appropriate. And the way to do that is to keep the rest of your outfit really simple. So there's a great skirt from H&M. They have it in a few tones, all neutrals. You have them in brown, a really darker hunter green. And I went for the black one because I think it's the simplest one. So if you're going to wear a pleated skirt to work and you don't want to stand out too much, or you don't want to seem too formal, I think black is a great color to get it in because it's such a quiet color, I'd say. And you can pair it with multiple tops like black, white, brown, nude. So it's just really easy to pair. And the pleated detail is a very beautiful detail for spring and summer and even winter. I've worn this skirt in with a sweater and belted. I'll put some inspo here of what I mean, more or less. When you're going to get a long skirt, try for it to not reach your ankle per se, because at the point where it does that, then it starts to feel formal, like dressy formal versus office wear. You can see it cuts off kind of at the end of my calf or mid-calf. So it's really stunning in my opinion. And this piece is also versatile because let's say you do have some fancy dressy event to go to that your job might be hosting and you're going to it in the evening or at whatever time really, you can dress this up as well. Let's say you do an updo in your hair and really pretty earrings, or you know, a really fancy blouse. It would also serve for that purpose. So again, reminding of how important versatility is in your wardrobe. If that matters to you, it definitely matters to me because I want to buy pieces that I really love and that I'll wear over and over again, even though there's definitely so many trends going on 100% of the time. But with office wear, I feel like there's always great essentials that you can have, and they will be classics for years, always, pretty much. And I think everything I've mentioned here is pretty much it. If you prefer a button up or things like that, a really great white button up like this one could also add into your wardrobe. Personally, I do not like office button ups, like the fitted ones. I just don't like the way they feel or look on me as much as I do a boat neck top, which I think looks just as elegant, just as put together. But if that is your preference, I think getting some like these are really great, and you can pair them pretty much with everything I've shown here, except maybe the tighter cardigans, because button-ups tend to be pretty tight on the sleeves and rigid, so when you're gonna go put a tight cardigan on top, it might be very uncomfortable. But if you would opt for more so of a looser cardigan like this one, I think you'd be fine. Okay, now for shoes. Really, I think you could have one pair of work shoe and be set. So that one pair of work shoe for me, which I wore pretty much the first 3 months non-stop at my job, are these from Franco Sarto. If you have a preference of a higher heel, go for it. Essentially, you just need a black pump, is what they are, more or less, except it is a block heel rather than a stick heel. I really love a comfortable, low block, stylish heel. I think they're very, very chic. They can be paired with so many things and you'll pretty much never get a foot ache. These are Franco Sarto. I will link them down below, the website to buy shoes from them. They can also be found at DSW. That's where I found them, and lots of the times they have them on sale. I believe I got these for like less than $50. Highly recommend, super comfortable. Then if you want to add a second shoe to your work wardrobe, you feel like where you're at that point where, okay, let's build up the shoe portion a little bit more, I highly recommend a nude shoe. These are from Zara. They're a slingback heel, so they're definitely perfect for spring and for summer. They let your feet breathe a little bit more, so that's always helpful. And they have a cool heel, which is pretty unique, but it's still low, so it's still comfortable, it's still work appropriate, but it's just a little bit of a way of showing a bit more personality at work. But they're still nude and sleek, so again, they're not loud per se, and they still make you look really put together. You can combine it with so many different things, skirts, pants, dresses, whatever it might be. Then these are another alternative to the nude shoe. These are Jessica Simpson's, and they're very, very comfortable. I highly recommend this pump. I'll link it down below. These are super comfortable. Two of my work friends actually have the same pair in nude and black. They're a little bit more of a higher heel if that's more your style. If you want to feel more elongated, taller, it might help your stature. It might help your posture even, make you feel more confident. I know a higher heel can definitely do that for people. Then for the winter months or the fall months, the colder days of the year, for the office I would go for a very sleek boot. I've actually worn these to the office before. They're not really chunky, they don't have a lot of a platform, so the sleekness of them really adds to the whole looking put together and chic aspect of the looks that I like to go for. And these can easily be worn with trousers, and the trouser kind of covers it over the top if they're a little bit looser versus being tighter at the bottom. I personally don't like to tuck in the trouser. I like to leave it out, and I think it looks very chic. The trick to a work boot is for it to be very sleek, at least in my opinion, and for it to have a comfortable heel. I wouldn't go for a stick heel. I would go more for a block heel if you can. And last but not least, of course, the shoe of the season, a really good loafer. I know these are not everyone's cup of tea. They're a bit more on the casual side, but I definitely think they're work and office appropriate, and I wear them all the time. These are from H&M. They're just all black. Some of them have a buckle or other colors, but I really like the sleekness of these because they really go with any outfit. I think a black pair is a good place to start. Okay guys, that is everything. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun making it. It's been highly requested, definitely, since I started sharing my outfits on social media for work. And I really hope this was helpful to you all, and I wish you guys the best of luck in your careers, and let me know what other kind of videos you want to see in the comments below.